Welcome back, lottery fans. I am back today with another Pick 3 rundown for you all to try in your Pick 3 lotteries. I'm going to go ahead and run through two different states today, showing you an example of how to do this rundown. And then, of course, you can go ahead and do this at home. But we're going to go ahead and use some of the past results from these lotteries. And we're going to use a technique called the +3, +6 rundown. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and stick around and I'll show you exactly how to do that. And then you can start doing it for your state at home. And then you can hopefully win some money on the lottery if you're lucky with that kind of stuff. But as I said, I'm going to run down two examples of this using our Pick 3 tic-tac-toe rundown worksheet. We're going to generate some numbers that you can play for these two states. And then we'll go ahead. And if you want to try and do this at home, you can use this Pick 3 rundown worksheet at home as well. This is available for free on my website, lotterypredictor.com. Make sure you check it out. Go to the resources section there. It's in the menu, and you're able to download this for free and try with your state. But let's jump in and go ahead and do our first state that we've got picked for today. And today is 10/27 on 2025. Almost forgot what year it was. And today we're going to be picking the Georgia Pick 3, and specifically the evening lottery. But you can do this with any of the lotteries, the midday, the evening, doesn't matter. We're just going to use the Georgia Pick 3 evening as our example. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with yesterday's drawing. So yesterday was the 26th, and I looked it up, and the result was 629. That was the evening result from yesterday's drawing. We don't need these other two. We just need one lottery drawing to go ahead and do this rundown. You don't have to pick yesterday's. You can pick any number to do this if you want. You don't have to pick past drawings. You can pick lucky numbers that you like and stuff like that. I always like to use the previous night's drawing because that always seems to work out pretty well. So as I mentioned, this is going to be a +3, +6 rundown. So let me go ahead and show you how to do that. Now we start with our first number, our 629, and we have our base grid here. This is the first grid we're going to start with. It's tic-tac-toe board, and we put the numbers down the left-hand column here. So we start with the 6, we put the 6 there, then we have the 2, we put the 2 here, and then the 9 here, and we put the 9 here. Now, the +3, +6 is pretty much exactly what we say. To fill in our next two rows here, our next two columns rather, we're going to +3, and then we're going to +6. Simple as that. So we take 6 + 3 equals 9. And then we do 6 + 6. Now that normally equals 12, but as you know, it's a Pick 3 lottery. We can't have 6, 9, 12. It doesn't work like that. So what we do is if we hit 10, we start back again from 0. So we do 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2. So we actually take, from that 12, we take the 2 from that. So we do a 2 there. Next one, we've got a 2. So 2 + 3 is 5. And then 2 + 6 is going to be 8. Now, if it's a little bit easier from you, you can do 2 + 3 equals 5, and then 5 + 3 equals 8. Depending on how you do your math, either one works. And then the last one, 9 + 3 is 12, so we'll take the 2 from the 12 because it's the last digit. And then 9 + 6 is 15. We'll take the 5 from the 15 because it's the last digit there. And that's what we have for our base grid. Now, for our translated grid, we're going to go ahead and look at our little cheat sheet down the bottom here. You notice at the bottom, we've got mirror numbers and we've got flip numbers. And I'll show you how to use both of them. But for this first one, for the Georgia Evening Lottery, we're going to go ahead and use the mirror numbers. I'll show you the flip numbers when we do our next state. Next. Now, all we do is we take each number in our grid and we look it up on the top row here on our mirror numbers. So we take 6, we look it up on the top row. Right underneath it is our mirror number, which is a 1 here. And we're just going to put the 1 in the translated grid because these are our translated numbers. Same again, we've got 9 here on the top row. 9, underneath it's a 4, so we'll put the 4 in that position on the translated grid. 2 is a 7 underneath it, so we'll put a 7 there. So 692 becomes 147, simple as that. Same again for the next row. 2 becomes a 7 because 2 on the top row, 7 underneath it there, put a 7 there. 5 on the top row, 0 underneath it, 0 goes there. And then 8 on the top row, underneath it's a 3, so put a 3 in here. And then the last one, we've got 925. 9 becomes a 4, 2 becomes a 7, and 5 becomes a 0, like so. So now we've got our base grid filled in with our +3, +6, and we've got our translated grid filled in using our mirror numbers down here. Now for our suggested numbers, I like to go ahead and pick 6 numbers based on a pattern. And for this pattern, we're going to go ahead and use the pattern that I normally like, which is 2 diagonals and then straight down the middle here. So if we do the top left to the bottom right, we get a 655. Top right to the bottom left, that way we get a 259. And then straight down the middle, we have a 952, like so. Exactly the same again on the translated grid, top left to bottom right gives a 100. Top right to bottom left is a 704, like so. And then down the middle, a 407. So those are the 6 numbers that we can go ahead and play in the Georgia Evening Lottery for tonight. And you can pretty much play these until they stop hitting. Sometimes it takes, 2, 3 days for them to start hitting. Sometimes it takes a week for them to start hitting. You might see them multiple times in the week. It's really up to you to gauge how long. I wouldn't recommend playing them for more than a week. After that, they start getting a little bit stale. But that's how long you do it. Or you can do this every single day and play it again. All right, so that is your Georgia Evening Lottery. So let me go ahead and show you another state here, and this time we'll use the flip numbers. And just as a note, if you want to see your state done, definitely go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what state you're from, because the ones that get the most comments, those are the states that I typically do next. So definitely leave your state down below and let me know what you'd like to see. All right, so same date again. Today, it is the 27th of October, 2025, like so. And we're going to be doing Kentucky for our second state. It's a little while since we've done Kentucky, but a lot of lottery players in Kentucky, so I'm sure you'll all be happy to see. And we'll start with the evening again. Once again, you don't have to do the evening. You can do the midday. You can do any other drawings that you have. Texas has so many different drawings that today, so feel free to do whatever drawing you want. But we're going to take last night's drawing in the Kentucky lottery, which was 1026, and the result was 759, like so. So we don't need these two. Now, once again, we're going to do exactly the same pattern that we did last time. If you remember from last time, we had the 629 and we put it down the left-hand column here. We're going to do exactly the same with 759. We're going to take 7, 5, and 9 and put it down in our left-hand column here. Then we're going to do +3 and +6 on both of those. So 7 plus 3 is 10. We'll take the last digit from 10 because we've got 7 plus 3 equals 10. Now we can't put 10 in there, so we'll take this number here, which is the last digit, and we'll put this 0 there. Same again here, 7 plus 6, that equals 13. Can't put 13 in here, so we'll take this digit here, which is the 3, and we'll put the 3 in there. Hopefully that makes sense for all of you there. Same in the next row. 5 plus 3 is 8, and 5 plus 6 is 11, so we'll take the 1. Last one here, 9 plus 3 is 12, so we'll put a 2. 9 plus 6 is 15, so we'll put a 5 in there, like so. Now, translated grid. As I said, last time we did the mirror numbers down here. This time, we're going to go ahead and use our flip numbers down here. And it's pretty much exactly the same process. So the same way you did the mirror numbers, you can use the flip numbers as well. What we do is we look up each number. We look it up on the top row. So 7 is on our top row here because it's our first number. Right underneath it, we have a 0. And we're going to put the 0 in our translated grid here. So 7 here, 0 here because 7 is on top, 0 is on the bottom. Base grid has a 0 here. Underneath it is a 3, so we'll put a 3 here. And then the 3 underneath it's a 6, so we have a 6 here. So 703 becomes 036. Same again for our next row here. We've got a 581, so 5 becomes an 8 underneath it. Let's put an 8 in here. 8 has a 1, so we'll put a 1 there. And then 1 becomes a 4, like so. And then the last line is exactly the same process. 9 becomes a 2. 9 is on the top row here. So underneath it's a 2, so we'll replace it with a 2 here. 2 becomes a 5. And finally, 5 underneath it's an 8, so we'll put an 8 here. So now we've got our base grid and our translated grid, and based on our flip numbers here, we're going to go ahead and pull out our suggested numbers. Once again, I'm going to use exactly the same pattern we used last time. We used the crisscross and then the straight down the middle. And you can experiment with the other patterns as well. Feel free. If you want to do all straight downs, you can definitely do that. If you want to do all straights across, you can do that. If you like doing L shapes, I've certainly got other rundowns that use other patterns, and I'll show you all of those later. But for right now, to keep it simple, we're just going to use my standard crisscross and down the middle pattern there. So we'll start with top left to bottom right. That gives us a 7, 8, 5. Top right to bottom left is a 3, 8, 9. And then down the middle here, we have a 0, 8, 2. So that's from our base grid. Now we pick 3 numbers from the translated grid, exactly the same pattern. Top left to bottom right is a 0, 1, 8. Top right to bottom left is a 6, 1, 2. And then finally, straight down the middle, we have a 3, 1, 5. And those are the 6 numbers that you can start playing in your Kentucky lottery. You can play them in the evening, play them midday and evening if you like, play them for a couple of days, play them a week. Whatever you want to do, go ahead and try these out. Definitely leave me a comment down below if they're hitting in your state. And definitely leave me a comment down below if you try this rundown and it works in your state as well. Now, as a reminder, if you want the Pick 3 Rundown worksheet, it's completely for free. Go to lotterypredictor.com. Go to the menu, find the resources section, and you'll be able to find the tic-tac-toe worksheet for the Pick 3. And you can download it, print it out, and do it your own. Absolutely no charge at all for free, and you can follow along. Also, lots of other stuff on lotterypredictor.com as well, and certainly all fun stuff for members that want to join as a membership. You can get all daily predictions emailed to you. We've got other rundowns in there as well. And for VIP members, I also do personalized numbers every single month for you that gets delivered to your email inbox as well, that are good for the entire month. So definitely check that out, lotterypredictor.com. All right, I will be back another day with some more rundowns for you. We'll do some pick fours, we'll do some other types of rundowns, but definitely go ahead and try this out. Don't forget, go ahead and subscribe if you're not a subscriber, like, share this video, and leave that comment with your state, or just say hi if you want to say hi. Just leave me a comment. That's always nice as well. All right, good luck with this. Till the next one, take care.